What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the GamerDad channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So today we're going to be looking at some preparatory guide, if you want, on how to beat General Radhan. I believe that this is the way this boss is meant to be beaten. You see, one thing about this game is a lot of the strategies that we use, sometimes it will popularly be called cheese. But the reality is there's no such thing as cheese when you're actually using gameplay mechanics that were actually set up for you to use. So walk with me as we go through getting the items that you need that will help you to be successful in destroying this particular boss. So General Radhan is actually a boss designed in a wide open area. Now you can approach him in multiple ways. You can use straight up melee combat, running up to him, trying to destroy him, or you can use ranged combat. Now, I've seen a lot of people refer to ranged combat as cheese, and I laugh because if you watch the preview trailer for Elden Ring that was actually released last month, you're going to see in one of the snapshots, the character is on a horse using an arrow to fight a dragon, which means to me that the developers intend that you use this mechanic in very critical fights if you choose not to use swordplay, which expands the way that you're able to play this particular game. So if anybody calls it cheese, I would just continue to laugh and say, you're not being serious, are you? Okay. Now we're going to go pick up a few talismans that would help us. So shout out to Tyrannicon, who actually exposed these three talismans. And I'm going to basically follow that, and we're going to get those three talismans. And then I'm going to walk you through a specific arrow that I believe will really make this a very, very interesting run. So follow me and fast travel to the Gatefront ruins, where we're actually going to make our way to one of the unguarded or abandoned towers. It's kind of guarded. It's not necessarily unguarded. I guess I should put that properly. And we're going to make our way through this particular Gatefront where these enemy NPCs are. And through that, we're going to get this big guy drop. He always, why did you just not melt this particular whatever? Well, they just want to keep you playing this and over again. So we're going to make our way past, these guards over here. This one's going to sound the horn. What's that going to do? And we're going to, once we get to this particular area, we're going to turn left. And then we're going to make our way all the way up here. Be careful. There is, for some strange reason, a giant of some kind that's guarding this area. So just keep riding with me. Where we're going is that particular tower over here that you can see. It is guarded, but you're going to notice that, once you jump in, you can pretty much run your way through and not worry about the guards in a sense. Or you can fight them. I wanted to take this guard out. I just felt like it. And the guards will kind of scale to your level as well. That's one thing. And watch out for the left, and I think watch out for the right. There are two guards here, so be very careful. This one has a great sword, so I will basically just prioritize him. And bam, bam, bam. Oh, I need to lock on my target, don't I? And so once you take this guy out in this chest, you're going to get one talisman. This talisman is going to be called Arrow Reach Talisman. Now, the reason you're getting this talisman is because you're going to pretty much increase your bow effective range. You see, when you're fighting against a lot of these bosses, and if you want to, basically fight on your horseback, this is definitely going to help you to be able to get a better range while, you're using your bow. So that's the very first part. The second talisman is actually located in a really strange area here on the map, and I'm going to go ahead and mark it. I think you'll find it on a dead body of some kind, and so it's really interesting just to, basically go ahead and deal with that. I don't know where the best, I think we just need to keep traveling down this road, actually. We don't really need to do too much craziness. If possible, we'll just probably travel down the, I guess I've been sighted by enemies of some kind. All right, we're just going to ride. That should be best for us. We're going to ride our way down there. It's not too far off from here, so just follow me in the directions that I'm going so that we don't get lost, or if we get lost together. Now, as we're making this ride, I'll keep talking about Radhan's, battle strategy, because I think the boss is designed for some level of difficulty that you may or may not have, experienced in the game. If you've been going through thinking, oh, this game's actually fun and I've, gotten to deal with a lot of these baddies and stuff, I think he's really going to challenge, your mindset in terms of how the game runs. In a lot of these castle ruins, that's somewhere around where this particular talisman is going to be. It's not going to be there. No, not here. But it is around this area somewhere off of the ruins down the valley over here. Okay, so we're going to keep going, and we should be able to make our way there somewhere. Let's see. Now, if you're wondering if I've beaten him on this character, I haven't, but this is my second character. I like playing the game from two different approaches, even though I play the same play style on both of them. It's quite funny. I'll play the game. Oh, look, another ambush. They're always ambushing, always. And be careful with these things that you see on the floor here. They might be enemy types that are just waiting to snag you. Boom. Okay, so we have to descend down this particular cliff, and I think there's room for that. Yep. There we go. There we go. Let's see if we can jump down from here. We absolutely can. So one interesting thing about jumping down that you have to know is you can jump on a cliff side to kind of break your fall, and then use that in a sense to break your fall. It's a very weird mechanic, but if you're trying to come down a cliff, I'm not saying do it for every cliff. Some cliffs will check you, and you will feel pain if you don't do it just right. And I think our talisman is, yep, there's one NPC that you see here. He's laying down pretending. Don't be fooled. I think he is quite active. All right, let's just kind of quietly make our way here and pick this talisman up. You're going to see that this talisman is also going to help you. It's called the Lance Talisman. This talisman, its job is to enhance your attacks on horseback. So because you're going to be playing ranged combat in a sense, you might be getting on your horse from time to time. In fact, I recommend that you do not get off your horse. Stay on your high horse for this entire fight, and I think you should be fine. Now, there is another particular item that is actually on this part of the map in Caelid. Now, you're going to see from my video here, this is my other character, I have actually unlocked that area. And we're going to pretty much make our way there. And then we're going to make our way to going to get a specific arrow that I also would recommend for this particular encounter. So fast travel with me to Caelid. And if by any chance you have not unlocked Caelid, then you probably want to come back to this video, because Caelid is a fun area. It's high level. It's an area good for farming, in your beginning levels and stuff. And then eventually you're going to make your way over there. So I'll show you the area on the map, and then we're just going to make our way there. So I think I'm going to go from Fort Faris. That's what I have unlocked on this particular map. I haven't really unlocked a lot of Caelid on my PlayStation character. I got sucked into playing on my PC character, and I've just been playing on there forever. Let me get this little thing off the way. I think where I'm going is right here. Once I find myself a... there we go. So the big challenge in navigating, this area, let's see. So I decided to speed this part of the video up just for brevity. The video is going to be somewhat long, but I try my best to be as detailed as possible. It was kind of fun finding this route because I haven't done it in a long time, but I tried my best to keep to the path to first get you the map, get you a golden seed and all of the above. But if at any rate you've already unlocked these areas, then you probably will be able to quickly fast travel to exactly where it is that I'm going. But this is to benefit those who have not necessarily unlocked this particular area to the best of my ability. And I know I fast traveled to Fort Faris, but it's also something that you could just look up how to get there. Once you make your way into Caelid, I think everything is somewhat streamlined from there. It's very easy to navigate. So Enjoy. So now that we found the map, this is where you want to go to get that third talisman. So we've marked it on the map and we're going to try to make our way there. It's a very harrowing journey, so beware of these birds. Do not aggro them at all. If you aggro them, they will follow you and knock you dead. There are also a bunch of these weird dog hounds and also a golden seed that you can acquire on your way here. So this is actually a really nice route to take. You got yourself a little sacred tear, and also you got yourself a golden seed. So you're gonna notice that these hounds are gonna howl and everything. They're not really after you. Just follow me. I'll show you the path to go. You're trying to approach that tower that's up there. And they're basically going to be fighting with these soldiers. Now, these soldiers will aggro on you as well, but they're also kind of concentrating on these little hounds. So pay attention to that as well. And then as you're about to climb this tower, you're going to see some baddies with some range on you. They're going to be forced to come down, in a sense. You can climb it if you want. But one thing I would say is, as you stay on the ladder a little bit, they're gonna jump down or try to come down to hit you from below. So, or they're waiting. Either or, you have to get upstairs. So, are you ready to fight, or are you gonna basically just, oh, he can hit me from there? So he's trying. Well, I guess we're gonna have to fight our way up here, folks. Uh 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 uh. See, he's trying to throw me down. Oh no! Oh, I didn't die. I didn't die. That's funny. Nice way he changed up that direction, man. You see the way he did that, huh? He wanted me to fall to my death. Oh, he's changing to a sword. He's gonna hit me. All right. What did these guys drop? I hope he dropped me something nice. Bolts. Okay. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to travel. You're going to climb up this particular tower. And let's see what's here. Oh, there are two guards here, both with shields. Ooh. 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 You see the chest is right behind this guy. So I'm going to open up the chest. I'll probably grab the item and move fast. That's another one. That's the Arrow Sting Talisman. And I'm just going to bounce. There's no need to. Ooh, that's going to hurt. Ooh, that didn't hurt as much as I thought it would. They followed. Descend. Go, 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 go. We're not doing this, bro. Now, I would recommend that you actually do fight them, because actually there is some benefit to actually continuing the battle and keeping this thing going. But back here, there is a grace site. So if you want some reprieve behind the tower, you're going to get a grace site and you can rest here. That way, you're not going crazy. Or you can come straight to the grace site first before you go pick up the talisman. So now we've picked up the 3 talisman that we need. And let's look at this particular talisman and see exactly what it did. It is the Arrow Sting Talisman. It raises the attack power of arrows and bolts. Now, these 3 talisman you're going to basically need. Now, you may wonder, how am I going to equip them or whatever? Well, here's the thing. I am in a different character and I don't have my third, talisman pouch. You have to progress through the game to get a third talisman pouch. But I've already done this on my PC character and I'm ready to go. Now, if you notice, even Radhan is not even yet active on here. But this is, like I said, a preparatory video. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go get a specific arrow that actually allows for you to be able to deal some really, really good damage to this particular character. Now, this arrow in Caelid is actually located in a really strange spot in a very weird cave that we're going to pretty much go to. So your landmark location should be the the isolated merchant shack. This is where you're going to pretty much kind of start this journey from in order for you to be able to make out, the direction that you need to be in. So the isolated merchant is actually pretty cool. There are a few things about him that you need to pretty much know. Uh-oh, he's not here. Oh, he is here. Phew, I thought he wasn't here. There's an invader that usually invades this place, and they got me one time, so beware of that. You may come here if you've already unlocked it, and the invader is going to is a big boss that's so strong. And first of all, you can purchase serpent arrows from this particular boss, okay? The serpent arrow actually is very, very cool. So I'll show you the goods. So let's just blow our money before we go die somewhere and buy a bunch of serpent arrows. And this is quite critical for your build. The next location that we're going to is going to be along this particular area. There's like and I'll just have to walk you through that area and you're going to see pretty much where we're going. We're going to a random cave that from here, its location is actually really weird. Let's see if I can actually walk you through this location. So you see these beasts over here? You might want to avoid them. So we're just pretty much going to go around the cliff. As they patrol, from left to right, depending on the direction you're facing, if you're facing south. So I'm going to go around the cliff here. Boom. So just keep running around the cliff because even if they try to attack you, you have room to take off. Look, he's seen me. And that's it. I'm out, bro. I'm out, buddy. I'm making my way all the way over there, down the hill. And I should get very minimal smoke right now. Down the hill. And there's a grace site here if you want. This grace site is probably going to be helpful for you if you want to get some reprieve. So make sure that you are prioritizing your grace sites. I keep calling them grave sites. I don't want to call them grave sites. So this region here, you can basically go across. So go across. Haven't been seen. Go across here, and all the way here. There's a cave down here that has the item that we need. So if you look very carefully, you're going to see that there is a cave here. I'm not joking. There's this particular cave has the arrow that I want you guys to go get. That arrow can fire the serpentine. I say there's an arrow. There's a bow here that can fire the serpentine arrows. So shout out to. There's a video that I watched that actually brought me into this cave to pick up the gold scarab talisman. If you haven't picked that up, it is also in this cave as well. And we're just gonna boost. Boom, bam. Woo! That was close. We almost didn't make that jump. And you're gonna make your way into this particular cave or dungeon. Now this dungeon is pretty interesting. There's a very interesting boss fight here, and this dungeon also has Scarlet Rot. Now, Scarlet Rot is a damage over time status effect, and if you're exposed to it for too long, it will basically melt you in an instant. In fact, Radhan that you're going to fight is actually somewhat weakened by Scarlet Rot, and you're going to realize that his weakened state is not necessarily the easiest. So what you want to do in this instance is you really want to get your immunity up to be able to, tank the damage that you're going to be getting from Scarlet Rot. So what I usually would recommend, and this was recommended by the YouTuber that actually made the video to do one of the videos to get the gold scarab, is that you actually go ahead and check your stats for your immunity. My immunity right now is 239, so I can tank a little bit of Scarlet Rot. You can also use gear that would improve your immunity as well. I think some of the the more immune prone items are from maybe say the Vulgar Militia sets that you can get. You can also get the incantation scarab that increases your immunity like crazy. I mean, if you put it on, if you notice, compared to everything else, immunity is highest on this item. But also you have to be wary about, your other stats as well. But because we're only picking up this particular bow for this video, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use this. I don't even know where I got this incantation scarab from, but it does have a high immunity. So I'm looking for anything that can give me high immunity. The Vulgar Militia armor also gives a high immunity. If you're wondering what the Vulgar Militia is, they are here in Caelid. They're these little minions that you can farm. If you really want to farm them, I would recommend when you make your way straight into Caelid from the secret passageway, they are the first minions that you're going to find. And here in right off the north east of Church America, there is a secret passageway in this ravine right here. So if you make your way through, all of the bushes and everything, you're going to find a secret path that's going to transport you directly into this area. And so you can pretty much farm from here. I think it transports you to the Bistio Sanctum. So you can pretty much come to the Phantom Gate Bridge. And this region, you're going to find Vulgars that you can stealth on and defeat. So that's how you can get that particular gear set if you want to improve your immunity to be able to tank some of this. So I don't have any Vulgar gauntlets here. Foot Soldier gauntlets, they have more immunity than my... they have about the same. That's fine. So I'm going to leave that on. And then for my foots, I'm probably going to use something Vulgar related. So my immunity is actually really high. So let's go ahead and look at my immunity stats right now. And we should be able to see how much immunity I have. My immunity is now 277. Not too much from, the past, but it should do. Okay. Now, one thing about the Scarlet Rot is there are these explosions on the Scarlet Rot that's going on. So when you jump down, you really kind of want to boost your way through, or run or do a jump back in a sense towards that Scarlet Rot. Oh, it's building really fast. Don't run. Ooh, so make your way to some area. See how fast that built up. So I'm using also the Bloodhound step. This is for me to be able to dash very quickly. So I'm just going to wait here till the Scarlet Rot damage reduces. When I went in the first time with my other gear, I pretty much was able to tank a lot more of it, and it didn't affect my health at that point. So what I'll probably do is once that explosion happens, then I'm going to go ahead and dash from that. Okay, so dash, 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 and I'm going to climb on top of here so that starts to reduce pillage remains. So you get some dragon wound grease. I'm going to dash out of here. I don't want to stay here too long. And I'm going to just stay here. So the Bloodhound step, if you want to get that as well to be able to help you through this, I would say come to this area here. This is Lens Rise. Remember, I just told you how to make your way to this great bridge. So from this great bridge, you're going to run across this bridge. There's a dragon here. You might want to ignore that dragon and then make your way here. Now, from this particular Lens Rise, there is a bridge that has an enemy NPC that roams the night. So you want to actually wait till nightfall. And then after nightfall, that enemy NPC is going to spawn. The enemy NPC drops you the ash called the Bloodhound Step. Now, there are ways to actually basically allow for him to, put himself in a really weird position. But I recommend that, you pretty much find a way to, beat him and defeat him. You can look up videos on how to do it. It's actually pretty cool in that sense. All right, acquire material, Aeonian. Oh my gosh, what is all of this? Acquire material, read message. People put these messages everywhere. It's like, yeah, we don't need the messages. All right, I have enough immunity right now, so I'm just gonna make my way away from here. Now, here is a very interesting cave. This cave you're going to run around very quickly. If not, you're going to get melted. Now, I'm going to pick this up, and I'm probably going to not bother about, you know, my health or whatever. I'm just going to take all the damage that they can get. But I recommend that, you know, you be shrewd in a way that you approach all of this. Let me see if my Bloodhound Step. Oh, my Bloodhound Step is no longer active because this torch. Equipment. Does this have my Bloodhound Step? Uh-oh. I don't have a lantern, which is quite sad. So I recommend that you get a lantern. So let's see. No lanterns on this character. Okay, so we're just going to have to go with it. Now, if you come down here, I think that's your arrow right there. You see it? It's literally sitting on all of that rot. And then there's another enemy NPC here. So here's what I'd say. The best way to do this, because enemy NPC will also hit you with poison, is that you kind of draw their attention. I think you can draw their attention, and then they start coming towards you. And then that Scarlet Rot's going to blow them up. You see, did you hear that? The Scarlet Rot just basically killed them in one instant. So we're going to wait for this to explode. Then we're going to make our way into where the Scarlet Rot is. So jump in. Just go for it, folks. Go for it. That's your bow. That's your bow right there. Okay? That's your Serpent's Bow. See how much Scarlet Rot I'm getting even with my immunity up? You can get your immunity much higher, but, you know, there isn't really even much. Now, if you don't have any, you know, if you don't have any runes to buy the Serpentine Bow, you can also continue your way into the cave. There are rats and some other mages as well that will hit you with poison attacks. And they can also pretty much help you in terms of picking up some of the arrows. You can pick up actually a kind of a little pack of those serpentine arrows, and you should be fine. Now, I'm not going to continue any further into the cave because it doesn't have any use for us. So I'm going to let the Scarlet Rot melt me and take me out. And then we're going to go ahead and look at this particular bow and how it actually functions. So we're going to make our way to the front of the cave, and then from there, we're going to go ahead and let's see. Come on. All right. So front of the abandoned cave, we're getting out. We don't need to go on in anymore, except you want to go get that gold scarab. If you want to get it, then you have to continue your way into this particular cave. All right. Enough of that. We're going to fast travel all the way over to Lens Rise here. And I'll show you where you can get that Bloodhound Step if you really want to use it to traverse. That's one way to do it. That traversal also uses FP. So there is the bridge over there right in front of me. That's where that enemy is going to spawn, okay? All right, I'm going to put on my regular gear and take this ridiculousness off. That's crazy. I think this is fine, and I think this is also fine. So I have a modified samurai build. Okay, now that particular bow, let's look for it. The Serpent Bow, it requires you to have 11 arcane, and that's it. So 11 arcane should not be difficult for you to be able to level up. If you want to level up, there are a lot of leveling up places that you can use. You can use the boulder over here. The boulder over here is very simple and straightforward. It's, you know, it's one of those boulders that once you actually, you know, pretty much master the, you know, the system, it spawns here, and all you got to do is just do a double jump around here. And when it falls down into this particular ravine, you get almost 2,000 runes. There is another method in Mogwin, but you have to do a whole quest line to get that. So that's also another way that you can actually deal with that. But nonetheless, this particular bow is able to fire these serpent arrows. Okay, so that's definitely something that you need to pay very close attention to. These serpent arrows, their job is to pretty much, you know, destroy, what's his name? Radhan. And they cause heavy poison buildup. And the heavy poison buildup is marked at 78. That's very, very strong. I mean, if I would say I've seen an arrow that can actually do a whole bunch of damage, it's this particular one. This arrow is not fair. It really, you know, it really does tell me that there's something quite sinister about the way it's been designed. And I'm just interested in seeing why, you know, the arrow is just that good, or the bow and arrow is just that, yeah, the arrow itself. And so you can use it to fire those serpentine rounds, or you can do what's called a great shot. If you notice, it's green when it pops out. See that? That's poison. Or you can do a great shot, but you need to have 11 arcane to be able to do a great shot, which is actually where the character is going to extend that bow much longer. I'll show you here in a clip on my other character, but honestly with Radhan, you don't even need those great shots. You just need to keep hitting him with these arrows. And remember, because you've bought yourself a bunch, it can do a lot of poison buildup damage against him. Now in combat, you really want to prioritize a few things. Now, first of all, because this enemy NPC is so aggressive, they've added a mechanic in there that allows for you to be able to, get and summon a bunch of other, allies. These allies are going to keep his attention for you to be able to do whatever you want to do with him. There is a strategy that I saw where you actually can go and apply, Scarlet Rot to him, but you actually have to go into his proximity, and you have to do this about 3 or 4 times. This is a very dangerous methodology. The best way to go is to use range combat with damage over time, and these items that I've just basically gotten, to you or shown you will do the job. Once you're able to hit him with enough of these arrows, all you have to do is be on your horseback, continue to summon allies, and run as far away as possible from him. Just keep running. You don't have to actually fight him face to face, because like I said in the beginning of this video, range combat is actually part of all of this. So you really want to basically go ahead and hit him and build up that poison damage, and then just continue to run away from him. The poison damage is going to do all the work for you. You hit phase 1, and then he does the thing where he jumps up in the sky and then comes down as like an annoying scourging star, and you have to basically avoid that, and then summon more allies and continue to do the blood buildup. Now at some point he's gonna stop. I said blood buildup, the poison buildup. At some point he's gonna stop the aggressive fighting. At some point your allies are going to all get destroyed, but there is a timer and a cooldown for allies that you can summon. And it's a mechanic that I learned the hard way. So all you have to do is keep running away from him until you find a spot where you can actually summon some more allies. I think once you get there, I think when he's like quarter or so health left, then the timer actually cools down where you can actually go ahead and summon some more people. Or it might be a time limited thing where they want you to kind of maybe feel like you have to go face him head on. Don't do that. There will be other summons that show up. And so once those summons show up, get those allies out there to continue to aggro him. Run away if the aggro is on you, and then those allies are going to catch up and eventually help you take the attention. And once the attention is off of you, continue to bombard him with these arrows. By the time you get the second or third buildup, he's definitely going to be dead. He's not going to be able to take all of that damage by himself. And so this is, in my opinion, how you beat Star-scourged Radhan. So if you have any questions, if you have any comments, let me know in the comment section. Try my best to make this walkthrough as detailed as possible, and I'd appreciate it if you would maybe like the video or maybe subscribe or whatever it is you want to do. So thanks so much for watching, and hopefully we'll talk soon. Peace out.